opened in the second for the Foxes. Jonathan Juarez charging ahead, and this is Alenga, the 21-year-old who was introduced to the side around the midway point of this year. If it was on target, it may have very well snuck in. Getting underway just a couple miles down the road at the university as well. For home services needs. Just over a quarter of an hour gone from Truist Point in the Triad of North Carolina. They can't fall asleep on the break again. They need to be vigilant about their build-up, but incisive and clinical nonetheless. This is Carlos Mario Diaz at some point in the second half. Says he's ready to put him in the 11 already, but feels the chemistry is in a good spot right now, especially with Kasule. It's one back by Alenga. 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 It's read well by Aiden Jarvis. He has drilled it into their minds that for him, he needs these 3 points like he needs oxygen. As Chica is booked for that hindered him in the first few months, has continued to lead the line with considerable aplomb. Here's Rossborough, darting in. Mosquera. This is Hall. Sits for Jarvis. And the diagnosis for the home fans is not positive. A goal inside 10 minutes by Julian Hall, and then moments ago, Curtis Ofori in the 28th, doubling the lead. Just as it felt like lethal on the counter twice. Their MO all season, and they have bared their teeth in the final third tonight. No mercy in front of goal. In the late stages of this first half between Carolina Core and New York Red Bulls 2. We thank you for sticking with us on Apple TV. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the playoff six-pointer between these two sides. And it has become all the more intriguing because Chattanooga FC, in the time of the aforementioned delay, has blown a 3-2 lead and fallen to bottom feeder Atlanta United 2. So as things stand, if the current result holds, New York Red Bulls scores tonight for Red Bulls 2. Picks out the Plaza Amador loanee, Mosquera. Jonathan Juarez. Well, we've spoken a lot of time talking about the venue. You will notice the makeshift infield that is patched up at the minute. It was a huge energy dump in the second half to brutalize Atlanta United 2. Only have had 4 days to regroup and made just one change. So, actually considering things were not going their way before the delay took effect. Definitely looked the sharper since the restart. Alenga. Sprayed wide towards the feet of. Are there any late wrinkles to the tale before halftime? Julian Hall certainly hopes so. It's a delayed whistle, but one which yields a free kick. 5. It's a weird first half to calculate stoppage time. 2 goals, not many prolonged cautions though, aside from the injury after the first goal. It seems Derek Guerrier is still mulling that decision. Alenga. Juarez. One back, falls to Mosquera. And still Rafael Mosquera. Kai Thomas. Pachito Polanco. Bindo winning the wrestling match. Well, now we are hitting the hour mark. What an opening hour it's been. 2 goals before the delay. Argentina spent time in the NYCFC ranks and impressed on a preseason tryout. I'm sure Roy Lassiter is glad he showed up for that tryout now. That is the first change for either side. Ibrahim Sakaya has blinked first. In Premier League before moving to Red Bulls on loan in early March. This is a scuffed clearance. Alenga cleaning up the danger. 25 minutes remain. A reminder in MLS Next Pro, if it ends tied, we go to a penalty shootout to determine an extra point in the standings. And remember, given 2 assists and burying the potential winner from 12 yards. It was Frank Sabufu. Cuevas. Plays it ahead. Cross. Finally floated out of danger to Dembele. Alenga winning it back.
Had 3 wins of pretty much any kind in their first several matches, but NYC are on the attack now, centering up in once more. They'll just play it all the way back. Low and short, but service into the area gets blocked away by NYC. Eventually, pretty much the vast majority of offensive opportunities in the last 5 minutes, but Calhera has something to say about that. Dropped off, Jimenez stripped away. Kept in by New York for Tiao. Jimenez looks for an option, but the only one there was Alenga. Where Lassiter talked about his team's effort, just trying to get the attackers into the action, trying to just be a faster team overall, playing with more urgency, and just trying to get themselves to 5 wins in a row. Jathan Juarez tried to serve into the area, but it's held on as it comes all the way around. Alenga out wide to provide NYC with that opportunity in the first place. But Carolina already back on it. Jake Evans alone in the center circle. Evans works with speed. Alenga. Alenga. All the way across for Juarez. For NYC against Cincinnati. They want to try to get another win or take the lead right now with Calhera on the ball right now before he dishes it wide for Baera. Quick turnover, Alenga. An opportunity as Jake Evans, he's by himself. Back post header was not available for Kai Thomas. And a block will disrupt New York City's flow. There for the top of the Eastern Conference as the league leader in Philadelphia are only 8 points above New York City going into today. And for Carolina, 2 games out of the final playoff spot. NYC is 3 games outside of the first place spot. However, the benefit is they Carolina lost 8 of their first 11 in that first essentially 3 months of 2024, but things have been working for the core as into the best players they can be for a potential to get to that MLS level. But Jimenez with the strip and an opportunity. Jimenez tried to serve a Calhera in this block. Short corner for NYC. Arevalo tried to serve. Left for already charges up ahead. Cabindo. And that day has Diaz. Owusu sends it up. Returns for Canete. Wanted to go up top for Evans, but he serviced into the area, headed down by New York, still alive for Carolina. Long ball goes right into the hands of Will Meyer. To avoid, especially with this NYC team, because New York loves to bring bodies forward. They're very confident right now. And they will Meyer have let one fall behind them. But a turnover for New York. Cabindo slips past a couple. And he's got Juarez wide open on the near side. Juarez. International player spot for an undisclosed amount. So 2 minutes are on the docket for the remainder of stoppage time. As Kai Thomas holds on to that, he was a part of the New York City Academy program back in 2019. Made his way to Cincinnati's next pro. Outswinger headed away from Lyon, still available for Alenga. Could not hit Covey, so it's chipped up by Shore. 2-on-1 in New York's favor, but trying to learn basically the entirety of the season for Carolina. It's something that Roy Lassiter has really been trying to teach these guys, because a lot of these guys, especially because of the consistent changes that'll be coming as it gets shot off and eventually elevated away. Capped in by Leong. Shore around from Baera. Tiao and Jimenez. Centers for Elias. Elias cuts inside. He takes a shot. That one comes off of Kai. Evans. Low ball. Cleared up by New York. In possession of Carolina. Bazayez. He couldn't. Consultant based in High Point, North Carolina. Truest point in High Point, North Carolina. Zeros across the board. Just crossed the 65-minute mark. Carolina Core and New York City FC. We mentioned some of the in-season tournaments, how they shuffle the lineups, and especially with Leagues Cup commencing yesterday. Evans goes across for Alenga. Alenga eyed by Baera. Back for Juarez. Juarez takes a bump. He's been responsible for every single one of the wins that Carolina has managed to muster up. Alenga wants to make something work for Carolina. Yosha Rodriguez is ahead of the line. Was it before? A little bit too much on the offense, on the defensive possession, pardon, by Carolina, as Shore was watched by Bazayez. Calhera tried to go inward, but it was blocked by Charles Alenga. And goal against New York City. Back post, as that's just a cluster of players there, all in blue. Another drive inside, and that one gets held on by Will Meyer. Program in his first season with NYC. He's had some other experiences off the bench, as this is the 6th match that Latcher has actually tied this game in forced penalties. End to end, back post gets clipped up by Tiao, out of play. Race. But nice thought process here by NYC just to get opportunities in the general direction and that to potentially force something. Aggressive tackle for Lopez. One couldn't quite get it to go. That was Cuevas who was attempting the chip in off of the 18 as it falls for Polanco off of the throw.